Started, I just want to check in and update everyone that yes, the review that you're about to see does talk about a lot of the flaws in this deck, but the creators have been working really, really hard to make that up to people and sending out new decks. I got one about 2 weeks later, and it was definitely much better. Some of the art still had some issues, but overall, just gorgeous deck, just much, much better. So this is a great example that if you back something on Kickstarter and you get something and it's not quite what you expected, it's always a great idea to reach out and see if a change or an update can be made.
Hey everyone, Misha here with a review for a brand new deck which just was shipped via Kickstarter. This is the Botanica Deck by Kevin J. Stanton, and I want to say it's Beehive Books Press maybe. Now, before we get started, I want to be totally honest and tell you all that there are a lot of problems with this deck, and that doesn't mean that it's not a good deck. It doesn't mean that it's not a really beautiful deck, because it is gorgeous. Unfortunately, this is a deck that was made and created and done at a time when COVID was going on. And so there were a lot of hiccups. And I also think that this is a really good example. So I'll bring the deck box here. This is a really great example of what happens when Kickstarters go on and more gets added and problems occur. So let's start with the box, because I don't care a lot of times about these things, because if I don't like the box of a deck, I will just say screw it, and I will take the box and put the cards in a bag. But so a lot of people are finding that their boxes, and keep in mind this is a brand new deck, have all these dings, which probably wouldn't be a problem, except one of the things that was kind of touted about this was that it came in this super fancy box and it was a display thing. So mine arrived wrapped in bubble wrap with the corners dinged up. So again, I'm a pretty chill person when it comes to things like that. I understand things happen in shipping, but that is something that, might be something to take in mind if you really want to get this deck. Maybe see about waiting until stuff like that gets worked out. The other thing, this is just a personal thing, but see how hard it is to pull this out of the box? Yeah, it's stuck in there. I think that may have to do because of all this gold going on, which is awesome. It is gorgeous. I don't know if you can see, but even on the inside of the box, there's gold, which is absolutely gorgeous. The problem is that makes it super hard to pull out. So just something to be aware of. You can watch me. I'm just trying to, okay. You can see, if you can see me trying to get it in there, it's even hard to get in there. But it is a really beautiful display piece. And, it's something that, I think that was something, adding the gold and everything was something that was added to the Kickstarter. Let's talk about the book. This is the book. So personally, not a huge fan of this. And the reason why is because, look at these cards. So, oh my gosh, how beautiful is that? That's Dandelion. And I think it's the Fool. I don't know. And the reason I don't know is because the cards are indicated, the symbols on them are ones that are traditional, some of them are kind of traditional, some of them aren't. You can probably figure out this is the High Priestess, right? But if I haven't memorized that, then it might be hard for me to just pull this card out and say, oh, that's the Fool, I know that. Now, that being said, that gives you a really great reason to fall in love with these cards and really get to know them well. This also, I think, could work as a fantastic oracle deck, just looking at the cards. And if you know your plants, then you can, if you know Dandelion, then you know that is all. You imagine blowing that puff of the Dandelion, right? And imagine it just, floating away on the wind. You can just imagine the journey that those little seeds go on. And so that's really awesome. That's a really, really great way to think of the Fool. But if you don't know the Fool really well and you don't know Dandelion, then that might be a little hard to catch. So something to keep in mind is and I'll show you in the book, this is the section on Dandelion. And it really, it tells they tell a little bit about the plants on some of them, like a really, really small amount. Now and so for me personally, I would have liked more information. I do think that there's an expanded booklet. I did not get that because I didn't realize that this was what I was gonna get, and that's on me. Like, that's totally on me. I think there was like a special edition you could buy that, of course, cost a lot more money, that you could get like a really solid book. But that being said, this is like a great little overview. So for instance, it tells you the flower or the plant with each one, and it does tell you the divinatory and the reverse meaning. And then depending on the plant, so like with the majors, it looks like there's maybe a little less information. That might be something to keep in mind. But there's still a little bit of information about the plant. So it's still a good overview if you're wanting to learn the plants. And of course, because it's a tarot deck, there's a lot of plants to get to know, which I think is really quite fascinating. I will also say that the artist did a really great job with the plant illustrations. And I can say that because as someone who's a botanist, I can look at that and go, oh, that's dandelion. So I'll go through a couple of the cards just to kind of, well, more than a couple, just to kind of give you an idea. I believe this is mistletoe, which is, oh my God, what a great one. What a great one to have there. I'll double check so that I'm not talking out of my wrong side. Yeah. Mistletoe on oak specifically. So I like the fact that they get that specific with it. That is really, really neat. So we have mistletoe. High Priestess is elderberry. That is pretty darn awesome. I loved that. I thought, what an awesome High Priestess card. I want to say, my guess is Magnolia. Let's see if I'm right. Yep, Magnolia. Like, look at this artwork. It's gorgeous. Now, bad news about this though. I don't know if you can see, but the back of the card has this gorgeous gold foil. Oh, we love it. Edges are gold. Unfortunately, if you look, it's a little hard to see. Let's see if I can catch it in the light. Okay, see right here? That's the imprint of the gold foil. Now, it's not super bad on this card, but I have some other ones where it's not so great. And the other thing too, you can kind of see it here on the dandelion card. There's like black marks, there's white marks on the edge. Some of the edges of the card, okay, so you can see like all this white, it looks like dust. Oh, and there, when I just turned the card, you could see like here's some of the imprint of the gold. And at first I wasn't sure what that was, but then I held the back of the card up and went, oh, yep, it looks like that just stuck to it. So unfortunate because this is such a gorgeous deck and you can really tell that so much love was put into it. You can see on this card, there's almost like a, let's see if I can zoom in. It almost looks like the art. Oh yeah, you can see it really well there. It just, I mean, I think it's just a printing mistake, but it's such a shame because look at the colors in this. Such a beautiful, ombre or value scale of those colors. So kind of a bummer that this is what happened with this deck because it really is gorgeous. So I'll show you my favorite major card if I can get to it. I think those are, they're not peonies. I forgot. I just saw these guys in a garden and my brain is totally blanking on them. But again, so see, like, I'm like, I don't even know, is that that's the Hierophant. Yeah, oh, those are roses. Okay, I was thinking that they were a different type of flower. Here we have the peony. Yeah, so this is the peony, so the lovers. And as I'm kind of going through these, I'm sort of trying to look. So here's a little bit more of that dust-like looking thing. Such a bummer. Some of these, this one actually has the gold imprint where you can see like the border that's on the other side. I've been told by the publisher that they're gonna fix that, but I had to do photos of the cards. So I figured I'd just do a video and kind of show them. Really gorgeous. I believe that's Japanese lantern maybe. Well, this is a great example. So I can't necessarily tell. So I want to go back and really look at the plants and their meanings. But one of the things I wanted to point out, the beauty of these cards, look at the motion of that, like the flower petal falling, just how beautiful. Yeah, pine, looks like an iris. And I'm just checking to see if the cards are stuck together. So this is probably one of my favorite cards. This is Belladonna. And again, I don't really know what the symbols mean, but that's okay. I can learn them. If I had been paying attention and counting cards, I could have told you that this is the devil. And it's listed as Deadly Nightshade, so super cool. Again, really great drawing of that guy. So I'll just go through a couple more. Ooh, the majors. What I'm looking for is trying to see, I can't tell if the cards are stuck together. That happens sometimes in brand new decks. It's not unusual. The cards are pretty thick. Like it's pretty nice, and they're like pretty solid. Here's the moon. This is the Night Blooming Cactus, this series, the Queen of the Night, and I actually have this in front of my house. So I was super excited to see this one represented here with such beauty. And we've got the sunflower. So as the world, and then of course Judgment. We've got Imagine the Lilies popping up. So now we come into the minors, and it's you know, pretty much the same. Let's just see something here. Oh, I'm sorry. The sun was the sunflower, of course. And then there's the world. So we come into the minors now. And so I think we can all agree, okay, Ace of Cups, cool. And Two of Cups, okay. And I see 3 cups, so 3 of Cups. So oh, yay, the pitcher plants, that's awesome, right? I appreciate that they included the vessel, or sorry, 4 of Cups. I appreciate that they included the vessel on these. There's a Lily of the Valley. And this one, you actually have to look like each of the flowers is the cup. So 6 of them. This one is a little bit. So some of it is a little bit more abstract. I like the fact that the cups on here look like little flower petals. That is absolutely aconite nightshade. So the 8 of Cups. That's funny. So my aconite story, as some of you know, is that when I was in the hospital, I almost died from a really, really bad car accident. And one of the magical, awesome things that happened in the hospital was that I wound up taking a Chinese medicine pill that had aconite in it. In Chinese medicine, it is a real, actually pretty fantastic herb. Of course, you don't want to use that without being under supervision, and I was, and it's something that's really good for trauma medicine. And so I love here that it's showing up in the 8 of Cups, which is, you know, oftentimes that idea of like, look, you just need to move on. Like you just need to go. Like things may not be what you think, you just need to walk away from it. And I think it was really cool because that plant came into my life at a time when I really had a choice to stay on the earth or go. And I chose to stay. And so this will kind of always help me realize that with that 8 of Cups, it may seem like everything is awful and horrible, but it's okay. It's okay. You can walk away from it. So you get the idea. Pretty much all of the minors are done in that way. So if we hopped over to, say, the swords, you can see the swords in there, and they appear in different ways. So different artistic representations. Oh, that's a cool one. Different artistic representations of the swords. So this one's neat. It's kind of abstract, but these are the blades behind it. So that's what you're seeing. Let's see, here's another one. You can see the blades behind that plant. Another one. And one thing I'll recommend to you in the future, if you're kind of going with, do I want to buy that deck or not? I have cards that I look for, usually the Tower, the 3 of Swords, the High Priestess. I look for the High Priestess because I love that one. It's one of my favorite cards in the deck. I look for the Tower because I want the imagery to be clear, and I feel like that's a pretty easy one to illustrate, depending upon your take on it. And I actually look for the 3 of Swords because that is a pretty clear one. It's usually shown as a heart or some other symbol of like love with the 3 swords in it. And I think this is great. We have the bleeding heart with the 3 pins in it. Really, really nice. I'll show you a couple of the, oh, okay, so court cards. So with the court cards, Page, Knight, also you could also argue that's Prince or Princess, Queen, and King. So depending upon the suit, let's go to, well, here we go. We've got the Page right here, little circlet, the Knight with the helmet, the Knight's helmet, the Queen, oh, that's pretty, with a more, and I think that may be milkweed, with a more elegant crown, and then the King with like the crown of laurel. So really, really neat. Yeah, that's the Ace of Swords behind it. Really neat idea with the plants. I haven't delved in too much to see if the plants are done by family. I don't think so. It doesn't look like it. I was like, what caught my eye is, oh, I think that's Nettles. Cool. So lots of diversity in this deck. I think that's Mandrake. Interesting. Lots of diversity in this deck. Really beautiful deck, really pretty. So here we have our wands, and again, wands varying from scepters to different type. Oh, haha, Datura, yay! To different types of. There's some sticks in there, some staffs, so different takes on it. Oh, that one's cool. All the different types. And then we have our pentacles. Oops, that's the king of wands. We have our pentacles showing up as coins, different types of money. Oh, that's neat. All different types of money from all over the world. So, you know, it's such a beautiful deck. Really, really, really. Oh, and these, for the Kickstarter, it came with some extra little prints of the card, which was really cool. They're little Kickstarter bonus with the really pretty postcard. So again, really gorgeous deck. As a botanist, I love it. As a tarot card reader, I'm gonna have to put forth some effort with this one and really get to a point where I feel comfortable being able to look. I feel like the minors I'm okay with. So I can understand that P would be page or princess or prince, depending upon how you look at it. Probably for me, page. And then you've got your knight. Like that I can do. And I like the fact that with the minors, what we're looking at is we have a real clear, you know, that is a cup. Therefore, I know that that is a cup. And I know that this is the 9 and that's the 10. So I'm cool with that. I'm okay with that. The majors, you know, I would have to look a little bit more at these because yes, that is super intuitive to me that is the high priestess. To me, don't necessarily read that as the empress, that little symbol. Even if they're using some of the symbols that have been used in the past, like that's lovers, the bottom one. So, okay, I've got that. But even if they're using things that, have symbolized things in the past, for me personally, it's not as clear, but that's okay. Some of them are super clear and some of them aren't. So there's nothing necessarily like wrong or bad about that. It's just something to take into consideration. I would not consider this like a good deck for beginners. We'll put it that way. I think that the imagery is gorgeous. And if you're a plant lover, this would be one that is just like completely and totally top notch. I think, okay, so the artist is Kevin J. Stanton, and it's Botanica. And the idea with this is it's a tarot deck about the language of flowers, which is just, really, really cool idea. There are, just trying to see if it says the publisher. Yes, Beehive Books. So you can check them out if you want to get a copy of this. You might want to wait and see if there's going to be a second printing, because I suspect a lot of the printing problems that we talked about will be fixed by then. I didn't show you as many that there are because I really wanted to focus on the beauty of this deck, but there's definitely some issues with cut corners. And one of the cards, I'm not sure which one of them has on the edge like a whole section of the card that was before it. So, these guys worked so hard to get this out during a time of great craziness and pandemic and everything. And so I really think that they should be commended for the beautiful work. And it sounds like they're doing a really great job helping people correct the issues. So kudos to them. And again, a beautiful deck. Definitely one to check out if you love plants. Maybe not so great if you're brand new to tarot, but if you're an advanced reader or you just like beautiful artsy decks, this is a great one. So again, I'm Misha from Cypress Pillar Healing Arts. If you liked this video, please do consider liking it and subscribing to our feed for lots more card reviews and deck reviews and all sorts of goodness. Tai Chi, Qigong, meditation. We got herbalism coming in and lots of movement videos coming up with belly dance to follow and have fun with. And we hope you have a great day and enjoy.